All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have got the semifinals for the SCReddit Open number 10, SCReddit Open X. I am Harlequin, and with me today is FearGorm, and this is the game one in a best of three between Chompy and Wes. Wes is the unknown contender who has risen through the ranks today, and Chompy is a long-time, or at least two-time tournament winner and just a beast of a Zerg player. So how are you doing today, FearGorm? FearGorm, you normally arrange all this stuff and do such a fantastic job, so it is a thrill to cast with you today. And what do you think about these players? What do you think is going to happen in this game?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Harlequin. And I know that Chompy is just scary. I know he can pretty much handle anything. Wes is an unknown entity, but he is a Terran. And this is a pretty decent map for Terran versus Zerg in favor of the Terran, just because it is it's a map where it's not easy to expand horizontally. And I think that's really relevant because the Terran, he can sort of go two-base just as easily as the Zerg can go two-base on a map like this. So I'm wondering how Wes is going to exploit that and see... I'm interested to see what kind of play he sort of favors, because as a random player, I mean, we discussed this before when we were watching Burnslow, who is another random player who I think was facing Beckwith. I'm not sure how well he did, but you sort of lack the depth that a player who mains that race has. So a lot of the time you'll see them have really solid build orders, like generic build orders, but as the game progresses into the mid and late game, they sort of fall apart because they just don't understand the intricacies of the race. But we are in the round of 4, so I'm sure Wes, he definitely knows at least a trick or two for each of these races. So I'm wondering what his early game plan is to put some pressure on the Zerg.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this because, like you said, we haven't even seen any Terrans yet today. So even though Wes is a random player, it's good to see another Terran player. He's got the early gas going up. The tough thing about Terran is they just have so many early game build orders to them, as opposed to Zerg, who you can pretty much expect you're going to see Roaches, Lings, or a combination of the two for at least the first half of the game. With Terran, he could easily go into Hellions with Reactor drop. He could go, Mass Marines, Medic Marine, Marauder. He could go Tank Push with Marine. I mean, there are just so many build orders, and they all start the same. It's really hard to tell where he's going to go with this. This is such a neutral build order. He's got a single Marine coming out. He's getting gas. Where he goes from here, I'd expect a factory at some point, maybe. Maybe he's going to put a tech lab down. Who knows? Look at that offensive supply depot. He's got the Manor half-built supply depot in Chompy's expansion.
That is really obnoxious, because what it forces Chompy to do is either go pull before hatch, like he is doing now, or pull out drones to try to kill off that building. So it looks like he's going to get a few Zerglings to quickly kill that supply depot and hopefully expand. But that expansion is going to be coming late, and it looks like we're going to see a Hellion push from West, because he did get up that gas fairly early and is now getting a factory. So it's definitely a strong move. I mean, anytime you can delay the Zerg's expansion, you put him at a disadvantage, because Zerg, I'd say, is the weakest race on one base.
Oh, and there goes that Overlord. That Overlord just desperate to get some scouting information, but it's going to get picked off now. If he is going Hellions, I would love to see this barracks just drop down a reactor. It's always so much better to have your reactor already done by the time the factory comes up, and then just swap which one you put it on. But again, it's so hard to read these build orders. This could also easily mean, and there's the reactor. Okay, so he's a little behind on that. Oh,
yeah. I think he just realized he.
I hate to be so I hate to be psychic about these sort of things, but yeah, okay, there you go. That's what he should have been doing at least. So but then again, like I was about to say was that if he doesn't get a reactor, he could very easily go for a starport, and this could be the precursor to a Banshee rush. There's just so many openings, and it's so hard to tell them as Zerg without losing Overlords over and over again. So we'll see where he goes.
So the thing is, now Chompy, I mean, he sees a reactor, but he sees that it's also late and that it's not yet on the factory. So he's got to be wondering, did this guy just mess up, or is he doing something I just haven't seen before? It's kind of really, really awkward timing. Oh God, what is he doing?
He's just improvising now. I don't know.
That was bold. So I guess he's gonna push out. Yeah, I guess he's gonna push out a Banshee, but it's just odd. I mean, he could have gotten the tech lab a lot earlier too. So really funky timings, and now he's getting a random command center at the side of his base that's furthest from the natural.
And I'm not laughing at him because I think this is terrible. It's just reinforcing my notion that it is damn hard to read what the hell a Terran player is thinking. Because nothing about this seems horribly wrong, but it's definitely not something I've seen before. But again, knowing what I know about Terran, this could all be very viable, and he could just be totally avant-garde, pushing the boundaries of what it means to play Terran in a Zerg world. So we'll see.
Or he could just be winging it. And,
he could just be totally improvised. I bet right now he could also be thinking, "Damn, I haven't played Terran for a week. Let's see if I can figure it out." Or who knows? I don't know. He's getting Hellions and Flame. This is kind of normal now, and a medevac off of the Tech Lab. Okay, so he's going for a Hellion drop, but he's got all the wrong. I mean, so far his reactors and his labs are just all screwed up. So I don't know.
Even getting supply bots here.
Yeah, this is kind of strange. Hopefully Chompy just does his thing and doesn't get pushed off by this a lot. But you can tell Chompy's probably having we're having a hard time reading this, and we can see the entire map. I bet Chompy's trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I bet he's expecting some sort of cheese or something.
Yeah, and I think you can see how it's sort of throwing Chompy off his game because his macro is not very good right now. I mean, he's only just now starting to spread his creep, and he's not droning very hard either. So I think he's a little suspicious, like he just doesn't really know what's going on. And does he have a lair yet? Yeah, he does have a lair, so he's going to be able to get an Overseer if there's a close Banshee rush. But I think just the aspect of confusion is just going to be as confusing as anything. And, does he see that? I'm not sure if he saw the command center go by. And if he didn't, it's going to be interesting because not knowing that your opponent is on 2 base can be very, very unpleasant. But honestly, I think it would be a lot less of a hassle for him to just throw down his command center at his natural, like any normal Terran.
Yeah, that's kind of a strange choice there. And Chompy, he's making another weird decision here, which is that he got Tunneling Claws first for his Roaches, and now he's getting Glial Reconstitution. Tunneling Claws, of course, allowing you to move while burrowed, but he hasn't researched Burrow yet, so he kind of got those in the wrong order. I don't know if that was an accident or what. Very recently, I don't know, was it how soon after beta was it they changed the graphics between those two, and I often find myself trying to click on the wrong one because I learned which picture was Glial Reconstitution before they swapped the graphics on me, but I don't know if he meant to that. And here comes the Hellion drop, really late, but...
And they do have Infernal Pre-Ignite. They're going to roll so many drones
attack.
They're in a line.
Not attack with those drones. Oh no, the humanity or the Zerg-manity of it. I don't know.
And doing another drop in the back of the main, so really cool move. But now those Roaches they did, yes. Chompy, this is the value of really, really good scouting. He did see what's going on there, but he has no way to answer to these Hellions, and he has no Roaches in production. He has no Roaches at his main. Okay, he has Roaches at his main, but he lost everything at his natural. So just a bit of a blunder by Chompy. I mean, I'm pretty sure he saw that drop coming. He had an Overlord in position. Maybe he just wasn't looking at his mini-map. So I think it's just an uncharacteristic blunder by Chompy. I mean, there's really no reason this should have worked as well as it did.
This is the brutal Terran strategy. Anyone who watched any of the Fruit Dealer replays where the Zerg constantly have to deal with this, Terran can stall forever. If he's got the APM, a Terran player can do multiple drops with just little random units. He had Hellions and Marines, and just constantly drop all of your expansions and force you to split your army up and hang out in the back of your base. And he can just basically stall for as long as he wants to if he has the APM to micro this kind of stuff. And it looks like he does, because that's a tough strategy to do. Any player who's used to trying to macro, but at least Chompy was able to identify that he saw that expansion there, and he went over, attacked the command center, forced it to lift off, and so at least Wes at the very, Wes has yet to expand is probably what he's thinking in his mind.
Yeah, but we have a really fearsome follow-up from Wes with the close Banshee now in the main. This is just so tough to deal with for a Zerg player because he's actually not in a terrible position after that drop. He droned extremely hard. He has 40 drones, but nice counter there. Nice quick response. But these constant follow-ups are just going to be cutting into his macro and his ability to exert counter pressure. But Chompy, you know what? Never mind. He's a lot better than I think even I understand, and I think he's pretty damn good. And he's positioning his Roaches in the front, forcing that command center to have to basically be an indigent command center, just fly all over the map.
Kind of homeless command center, kind of walking around looking for a place that it can land.
Yeah,
poor thing. What I want to see Chompy get right now, and again, I'm like a newfound, Fruit Dealer fan. I love seeing his games.
Oh, I'm a Fruit Dealer fan.
I want to see Chompy get that infestation pit. I want to see him fungal growthing dropships and all that sort of stuff. That's one of the most brilliant plays I've seen in terms of a great way to counter that. That's not very obvious. So, but he's definitely getting Spire too, which is not a bad move either, because there's no sign of Thors yet. Nope, just kidding. There's the Thor right there getting built. So proper timing for the Thor. So Wes is, like I said, he's kind of falling into that latter category. At first I said maybe he just doesn't know how to do a build order, but then I corrected myself and said, or he could just be the most avant-garde Terran player out there. And it seems like he's a little bit of both. So he's kind of definitely, it's not like he's falling behind in any way. He's just being unpredictable, which is not a bad thing. It's a very TLO style of play, just kind of one of everything and constantly attacking on multiple fronts kind of thing. You can see he's just patrolling around with his Banshee looking for easy targets, not not letting his APM go to waste. So yeah, not bad. I'm impressed. This is worthy of a semifinals game for sure.
Yeah, definitely, and it is quite interesting. I mean, he definitely is playing in a style that can't be predicted, but at the same time, I mean, there are little signs that I just think he's not really sure where he wants to go, how he wants to transition into a mid game, because he set that command center up top. He had to know that any decent Zerg player is going to have overlords all over the map and be able to see that. And oh, please don't load that Thor up into that.
That 1 hit point medevac.
Yeah, that like 2 hit point medevac right there. That would be just disastrous. And he has kind of random stuff. I mean, he has a random Raven over here that doesn't seem to serve any particular purpose, particularly considering there's already Mutalisks out. He knows that there's Mutalisks out. He knew that there were Mutalisks out, which is why he made the Thor. And he just doesn't really have a reason to use that Raven. I mean, the PDD, I'm pretty sure, does not work on Mutalisks. It might work on Hydralisks. So it's just a little bit of random teching all over the place. And, oh, please just kill off that Banshee. There we go. That Banshee's not going to stand a chance. Unless he can close. Oh, does not.
Totally sees it. Yeah, I really think Wes is anticipating burrowed infestors and burrowed roaches, and that's why he's got the Ravens and the Marines sitting right at his peon line. He's expecting roaches to sneak in here. Hence the missile turret. Well, I guess missile turret and Thor's. Yeah, and look at that. Boom, right away. He's got perfect sight, and the siege tanks are just laying into those roaches and trying to sneak their way in. So, that actually paid off, that random little obs that he threw out there. So, okay. This guy just keeps surprising me.
Yeah, maybe this guy is just several steps ahead of me, because now that you mentioned the detection, I realized, yes, he does have a missile turret. I was going to point out he had the static defense right here with the missile turret, but he needs a mobile detection at some point when he's going to do his 2-base Doom push. So why not just get it now? It's going to have the energy to do all kinds of cool stuff once it's out on the field. And there are a lot of Mutalisks out on the field right now, the 16, and we see that there's 2 Baneling nests going up. So either he's going... No, I think this might just be a mistake. He is getting 2 Baneling nests. And look at that... Oh, look at that gas path, really cutting into his gas consumption right there. I don't know if he realizes what he's doing here by putting his infestation pit in the middle of his gas.
That suddenly went from a 3-worker gas mine to like an 8-worker gas mine.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
And at least he saw the second Baneling nest and canceled it. But this is good. This is what Baneling, Infestor, Roach, Mutalisk is brutal. That's the fruit dealer combo of Doom that he used. We'll see if Chompy's got the micro and the macro to make that work. But he's got the tricky army to fight. This is exactly almost a mirror of that game. We've got the Medic Marine Marauder, the Thor, and the Siege Tank. Really a Doom combo against Zerg. Zerg has no obvious counter to that, but with a lot of micro and a lot of random units, you can kind of fight your way through it. So here it comes.
This is interesting. The siege tanks are sieging at the back, and it's going to give Chompy the time to delay him. I mean, he gets Fortress Suicide to use while he gets his Baneling to get some higher level tech, and while he's just going to be able to kill a lot of his army outright and delay this push hopefully for a little bit. I don't think this push, if continued, will be very, very successful with the Baneling speed now just about to kick in.
Yeah, I hope Chompy comes up with some more units, because he just sacrificed a lot of air units.
Yeah.
You want to throw the air units in once you get a fungal growth off. That's the trick, and he didn't have that, and he just may have wasted all of his air units.
And he couples tank before they see doing a little bit of damage, but not going to be able to kill off a tank quickly enough. And sending in some overlords, I guess. Oh wow!
And the good game scrap.